Art is a boundless expression of human creativity, from traditional paintings and sculptures to installations and digital creations. At its core, art serves as a means of communication, allowing artists to convey their emotions, ideas, and perspectives to an audience. It transcends language barriers, speaking to us on a primal level, evoking feelings, sparking thoughts, and challenging preconceptions. While the definition of art may vary depending on individual interpretation, it often involves a synthesis of skill, imagination, and intent. It can be deeply personal or universally resonant, serving as a reflection of society, culture, and the human experience. Art invites us to see the world through different lenses, encouraging empathy, introspection, and dialogue. It often embodies a combination of technical proficiency and creative vision, resulting in works that can be appreciated both for their aesthetic qualities and their conceptual depth. Moreover, art is not confined to any single medium or style. It evolves with time, embracing new technologies and methods of expression. This dynamic nature of art ensures its continual relevance as it adapts to the changing landscapes of culture and society. By challenging conventions and pushing boundaries, art fosters innovation and keeps the human spirit engaged and inspired. Art holds immense relevance in our lives, shaping our identities, enriching our experiences, and fostering connections within communities. It provides solace in times of uncertainty, inspiration in moments of stagnation, and a sense of belonging in a fragmented world. Whether we're creators or observers, art nourishes our souls, offering glimpses of beauty, truth, and possibility. Moreover, art has the power to provoke change, serving as a catalyst for social, political, and cultural movements. It challenges norms, confronts injustices, and amplifies marginalized voices, igniting conversations that transcend boundaries and provoke meaningful action. In a world inundated with noise, art offers a sanctuary for reflection, a sanctuary where we can pause, contemplate, and find meaning amidst the chaos. The relevance of art lies in its ability to connect us to our emotions, to each other, and to the broader human experience. It is a testament to our shared humanity, a reminder of our capacity for creativity, empathy, and resilience. In celebrating and supporting art, we affirm its vital role in enriching our lives and shaping a more thoughtful, compassionate, and connected world.
Allow me to introduce Van, a visionary creator whose work transcends conventional boundaries, captivating audiences with its depth, beauty, and innovation. With a diverse portfolio spanning various mediums and themes, Van defies categorization, constantly pushing the boundaries of artistic expression. Let's talk about your educational background. What is your program?
Currently, I am a second year student in Certificate of Finance major in Studio Arts here in UP Cebu.
Where did you train?
So I am self-taught artist most of my artist journey, but until I entered here in UP Cebu, di na ako nakatrain og sakto nga way sa pag-manage sa ako ang art.
What are your influences?
I can't specifically trace jud ako ang original nga influences, pero I can still remember nga kanang I draw sa kanang amo ang doors sa among bongbong, pero like dili ko ka trace jud kung di nagikan ang ako ang influence ana niya, pero nagdako lang jud ko nga nag-start ko og love sa pag-make, pag-drawing, then pag diha siya ni boom, murag ganahan ko explore pa jud siya mo nang nako diri sa UP Cebu karon.
So, let's now talk about the art. What are your usual subjects and medium?
So, my subjects are not that kanang constant nga mag-pair me, pero I like to draw people mostly. Kaya murag, like people can convey like different emotions nga murag nindot kayo i-capture niya. Sa ako ang medium is before kay mag-explore jud ko og sige, pero right now kay I'm mostly in love with colored pencils and then acrylic, and currently kay klase mi og oil niya murag naganahan na sa ko niya.
What is the common context in your art?
So I started to create kanang kuan lang para aesthetic ra gani, but right now kanang mostly my works are more personal rather than kanang murag wala kayo siya by intention, pero like I am hoping og aiming nga murag ma-clear jud ang akong intention labi na sa akong mga works para murag mas ma-connect sad siya sa ato ang mas maka-connect ang tao sa akong mga works.
So what are the art exhibits you joined?
I joined mostly kay kanang mga exhibit ra sa amo ang mga section ay kanang courses. Then I also joined Hoya Awards last October 2023 here in Hoya, UPC.
Let's now talk about the issues you experience as an artist. What are your personal struggles as an artist?
So mainly kay like dili ra jud ni ako ang experience, pero like daghan ang artist nga kuan nga ang prices jud sa material sa pag-create og art is not that barato. Mahal jud kayo ang mga kuan mga materials for us to create things. Pero although maka-create man mi og mga works sad nga gamit ang mga organic materials, pero if you want to create quality jud kay need jud ka mo palit atong mga taas-taas og standard. Then also we fine art students are fighting for our spaces kay labi na lisod kaayo like diri sa amo ang building nga ang mga rooms kay i-close gani, like dili mi maka-work jud diha. So lisod kayo mag-work mi sa amo, then lisod sa ang pag-travel, like labi na dagko imong plates, dagko imong mga works, lisod kayo i-travel mo nang if dili mi ka-work nga rin lisod jud kayo para sa amo ang part.
Should countries return artifacts to their countries of origin? Why or why not?
For me, yes, of course. Kay it's for first on the first place kay ang kanang artifact is for the people nga naato nga lugar. So if kuha na siya kay murag dili gigamit naman siya as symbol for other thing, dili na jud siya sa iyang original purpose. Di ba pareha atong naka-remember ko atong Balangiga bells man ata to nga murag atong ikuha sa USA for to use as a trophy nga murag nakadaog sila diri sa Philippines nga murag lately lang gikuha sa Philippines kay para ilahat to. So dapat jud iuli ang mga butang nga dili inyo.
Next is the hot market for digital art known as non-fungible tokens or NFTs over. Why or why not?
Wala kay ko ka fully grasp anang NFT kay, pero I have witnessed its peak gani kay katong pag 2022 man ata to nga murag grabe jud kayo laganap ang NFT. Pero I can say nga murag di ko kaingon nga over na siya, but it's recently kay murag wala na kay kakadungog niya, pero di ko kaingon nga over na siya tungod kay it's still there. It can possibly rise again when the right time comes, pero I can't say nga murag mubalik siya. I can't say nga murag dili na siya mubalik jud sa iyang original nga state nga katong grabe jud kay ang peak.
Next, does the Art Association of the Philippines or AAP serve its purpose? Why or why not?
So nakabasa ko nga ang role jud daw sa AAP is advance and foster and promote the interests of those who work in the visual arts. But it feels like the Philippine art scene is not advancing kay murag ang tao ari sa Philippines kay na-stuck gihapon sa painting gani. Murag wala kay tani pareha sa uban nga lugar nga murag explore na sila og bagong nga medium, bagong nga media. They've done many installations na like appreciated na kanila na gets na nila, pero diri sa Philippines kay ang appreciate mostly sa mga tao kay magnaara gyapon sa painting. Murag wala lang kay tay ni advance, o wala kay tay move, murag tag na-stuck ana nga place nya. Kanang sa nasa daw issue sa APP na ako nabasahan na murag they have issues on their professionalism na murag daghan daw ang murag dili sakto nga pagkakuan sa mga works. So murag how can we advance in ana nga to ang way sa pag-care sa ato mga art here sa Philippines?
What can you say about the art market and the young artists?
The art market here in Philippines kay murag pala lang nako is very lisod jud siya pangitaon og sakto nga lisod siya pangitaon ang imuhang market as an artist, as an labi na independent ka nga artist kay dili ka makapangita na dayon, like you have to need to have connections para murag mas masel nimo imong work nya. Murag labi na ikaw kay murag wala kayo ka hilom kayo ka kay murag dili jud kayo kadali maka-connect sa mga tao nya. Murag labi na if imong works kay murag dili kay siya yung anak kanila ka appreciated, murag dili nila ka gets kay murag isud jud kay nila kung ano sa ay kuha sa public. Then para lang sa mga young artist kay continue to create lang jud and believe on what you're making kay murag at the end of the day kay murag mao jud na imong magbunitan og your work represents who you are.
Next, how could we help the artists with special needs to shine?
You just need to give them a canvas, paint and a brush. Kay murag they'll work man kay kung kibaw na sila nga they want to create kay mo create man dyan na sila. So I mean by that kay support them and believe in them.
What are your insights on artificial intelligence or AI on art?
So para lang nako kay AI is not really that threatening sa mga artist, pero of course na part nga ma-affected jud ang artist. Like makakita man ta di ba sa Facebook nga kanang usa ka AI post ay maka-receive of hundreds of thousands of likes gani sa bisag usa lang naka-post nya. Marag ang tao kay dali kayo makuog anang AI, marag mo nang pinaka-usa nga worry. Pero nakoy usa ka instructor nga mingon siya nga AI is not really that ka threat para sa mga artist kay daghan kayo ma-capture ang tinuod nga artist nga dili ma-capture sa AI. Kay labi na ang kanang wala kay na emotions ang AI, kay labi na gagikan ba siya sa ready na available na mga works. So kulang kay siya ang inspiration. Maybe anya ningon ang mga instructor nga you can actually use AI as a tool na mga artists to create more, to expand our creativity. Dili siya dapat na mo ikahadlok, instead na dapat na mo siya use positively para mo expand pa kung amo ang pwede mabuhat as an artist.
How about your insights on virtual reality or VR on museums or exhibits?
I mean, it's a new medium for us to explore. Lahi na sana siya, bago na siya. So, I am actually very open on it. Ganahan ko siya ma-experience kay like diri sa Philippines kay wala kayo kadungog ana dyan niya, but nakoy nakuha na niya nga to sa Louvre man ata to nga magday siya nga experience nga may unta soon may experience na to here sa atong place kanya. If kani nga mga medium may nani kay dapat open jud ta para sa ari na ta chance nato nga dawato ni para mo advance ta sa ato ang pag-create here sa ato ang art scene sa Philippines.
Can climate change art help save the planet? Why or why not?
Art can raise awareness, it can address the problem, but it can't really solve the literal problem. So some artists uses kanang mga scrap materials for their works. They use recyclable materials for their works, but nara na siya diha. It will be hanged, it will be presented. It's for the people nga para makita nila kung unsa man ilang pwede dapat buhaton sa atong climate para ma-solve na to ang atong issue sa atong environment. But like what I've said, nga dili jud ang art mo'y sakto nga atong duulan para ma-solve ang atong climate change. O ang pag-solve ani atong climate kay it's on us jud as a citizen ani atong planet. Kita ang dapat molihok dili na to siya pwede as ata sa art. But art can help, but it can't solve it.
Thank you, Van, for your answers about those issues. Next, how would you advance issues with your art?
Currently, I am still finding my true purpose in my art. Kay vague pa kayo akong mga works. It's more on experimental. It's more on learning the fundamentals. But soon, I want to become an advocate for quality education. Labi na sa past na nga experience na ako kay luoy kayo ang mga young kids or the young ones kay luoy kayo sila if they are lacking the quality education that we all need. Kay at the end of the day kay kita raman na tanan ang mag-suffer labi na if dili jud makakaton ang mga bata. So it's my advocacy to have a quality education for everyone. Dili lang dahil sa mga bata o para dahil sa tanan.
Okay, thank you, Van, for considering our request to interview you to know you better as an artist.
In summarizing the insights from our interview with the artist Jovan Gabud, several key themes emerged that reflect both personal and professional challenges, as well as broader cultural and technological considerations. Personal struggles. The artist faces high costs for quality materials and struggle with inadequate workspaces. These practical issues are especially burdensome for fine arts students who need conducive environments to create their art. Cultural and ethical issues. The artist has a strong belief that countries should return artifacts to their countries of origin, as these hold significant cultural and historical value, exemplified by the return of the Balanghiga bells to the Philippines. Digital art and non-fungible tokens, also known as NFTs. The peak of the NFT market around 2022 was past, but it hasn't disappeared entirely. The artist remains open to the possibility of its resurgence, though the future remains uncertain. Role of the Art Association of the Philippines, or AAP. Criticism was directed at the AAP for not effectively advancing the local art scene. Issues of professionalism and a perceived stagnation in artistic innovation were highlighted. Art market and young artists. The art market in the Philippines is challenging, particularly for independent artists who lack connections. Young artists are encouraged to persist and believe in their work, despite these difficulties. Support for artists with special needs. Supporting artists with special needs involves providing them with necessary tools and believing in their potential, ensuring they have opportunities to showcase their talents. The impact of artificial intelligence and virtual reality on art. The artist sees AI as a tool rather than a threat, with its lack of emotional depth, distinguishing it from human-created art. Virtual reality offers exciting new possibilities for art exhibits, though it's not yet widely adopted in the Philippines. Art and climate change. The artist mentioned that art can raise awareness about climate change and inspire action, even though it cannot solve this issue directly. Using recyclable materials in art emphasizes the importance of sustainability. The burden will always be on the people, especially big corporations, who actually have the power to create change and solve problems. Advocacy through art. The artist wants to use their work to advocate for causes such as quality education. By channeling their experience into their art, they can highlight important societal issues and inspire change. In conclusion, the artist's insights reveal a complex landscape of challenges and opportunities. Their resilience and adaptability, coupled with the potential of art to impact society, highlight the significant role that art and artists play in addressing personal, cultural, and global issues.